Hello, everyone. Once again, this is Dare to Speak. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about something that is very controversial that I've been meaning to talk about in order to find some answers. Because this is really, really mind-boggling for me. And this is about the Holocaust and the so-called Holocaust Denial. So, I'm going to explore this subject and find out I don't know, because I find this interesting. So, hopefully, you'll like this video. Hello, and yeah, I find this interesting. So, I learned about this about maybe, I don't know, 4 years ago. I think I found out about this. I heard about it before, but I never paid much attention to it. But when I did start to pay attention to it, I started to think. And then I saw a documentary on this particular subject, on this so-called Holocaust denial. And I don't know. It seems compelling enough for some reason. Number one, they said that the number of Jews that were killed was not 6 million. That in fact it was a lot less than that. They actually exaggerated in the numbers. That it was a deliberate secret propaganda done by, from what I understand, the Illuminati. And these Jewish people, which is known as the Rothschilds, and also the Rockefellers were behind it. That's what I heard from this one source. That's what I found out from this one source. And of course, you know, for those of you who saw the video on Pearl Harbor, was a false flag attack. Any of you that hasn't seen that yet, I advise you to see that in order to make sense of this one. Because there was people, the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, they were involved in financing both sides of the war. Not only the Hitler's rise to power, but also financing both sides of the war, because it's all about money. It's about making money, making some serious moolah. And all those American deaths was, you know, the result of it. And also the bombing of Pearl Harbor was planned. And of course, the president at that time, Roosevelt, knew about it and he was in on it. And of course, I have a hard time believing it at first. And then I slowly, very slowly started, over the years, I started to think to myself, what if? I don't know. What if it's true? I don't know. And now I see the same thing about this one. What if it's true about the Holocaust being exaggerated? Not that it didn't happen, but that it's exaggerated, and there was a few lies here and there. Because the only reason why I'm starting to wonder about the what ifs is because in this particular documentary, there's this group of people that went to the concentration camps, and they talked to some people that actually were either families of the victims, a few survivors, and they went to this one site where they had that big oven where they said they forced a lot of these people in, and they burned them in these ovens and alive and stuff like that. And of course, when they went to that site, the structure was different. They changed. And so they talked to someone who's been there for 30, 40, 50 years or something like that, and other people that were there for around that time. And so he was talking to some of these people, and he says, "Well, so this is the place where they killed all these Jews in the oven, right? That's where they put them all in there." And these people cringed a little bit, and they're like, "No." Like, what do you mean, no? She said, this was never a place for that. I mean, that kind of stuff didn't happen. And she said that there were people that were burned, but they were already dead. These are the ones that were dying of disease, and to get rid of all the big piles of bodies in order to prevent more diseases from spreading. They took all these bodies into the oven and they cremated them. That's basically what they did. It was a crematorium. But as far as like torture, they cringed a little bit. There was like a mild cringe, and they shook their head and said, "No, it didn't happen that way." There was a lot of suffering, a lot of these people, because of the fact that, according to them, what they were saying, and I saw this documentary, I just can't remember I can't remember the fucking name. But I saw it when it was on cable, like 4 years ago. And I was still trying to find it here on YouTube. They said that the concentration camps were at one time just normal. They had all these people that were getting ready to ship them off to. Some of them were going to be shipped to Israel. Some were going to be shipped to someplace else. They're going to be put in the train and stuff like that. And they said that they pretty much had everything. They had food, they had supplies, they had an infirmary. Yeah, excuse me. Sorry, I can't say it right now. They did have a hospital, and they even had their own synagogue where they could do their place of worship. And they also had dance halls. They had all these normal stuff like that. It wasn't luxurious. It was luxurious. It was standard, normal. But then, because of Allied bombing, because for them being shipped off to all these places, it was already legit and it was getting ready to go. But then it was overwritten. It was rewritten on purpose by Sir Victor Rothschild. So Sir Victor Rothschild is the one who actually messed up on purpose the whole thing. Changed everything, and to make sure to deliberately make sure that these people actually died and suffered. So what actually happened, how they made that happen, was there was Allied bombing from Britain and from the U.S. and bombs were exploding everywhere close to that site, and some of them were hit so close that it destroyed much of the food supply. It destroyed the synagogue. It destroyed much of the territory, to the point that they were limited in food, they were limited in clothing, and most importantly, they were limited in medical. And of course, over the days, and then over the weeks, and then over the months, and then sadly over the years, these people that were once happy and healthy and getting ready to be shipped off, whether in these camps, started to suffer. And that's why you saw a lot of them in these raggedy clothes, and they're like very malnourished, and some were like so sick, and they're in harsh conditions and this and that. And then the soldiers pretty much neglected them. And so it was pretty much some of the stuff that they said about what the Germans did to them, what the Nazis did to them, was true. But at the same time, there was also another truth to it that wasn't mentioned, according to this documentary and according to some of the literature that I found. And now this is a very touchy subject, so again, I honestly don't know, but this documentary made it so convincing in a sense. So I don't want to jump to conclusions, but if the Illuminati was behind this, if the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds were behind this, just like how they were behind every other war. They were behind World War I, this one, World War II. They were behind the Vietnam War. They're the one that helped stage the Gulf of Tonkin incident, because it never happened the way it did. The United States destroyed their own boat, and they staged it to make it look like the North Vietnamese did it. And again, I'm not saying that that's true, but at the same time, what if it is true? I'm kind of leaning towards that a little bit. I mean, I do want to like make the right decision. I don't want to piss anybody off, but it seems to me that I'm leaning towards that, kind of, like about a good 60 to 70%. I'm leaning towards it. But with this one, with the Holocaust denial, I'm pretty much 50-50 on this one. I don't really know. It could be true, it could be not true. But then again, if the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds were behind it, if the Illuminati was behind it, what if? That's only going to make me lean more towards it in that sense. Please, if there's anybody out there, anybody who knows anything on this particular subject, whether or not what I'm saying might be true, please drop a comment. I want to hear what you have to say, because this is mind-boggling. I just don't fucking understand this. I want to know more about this, and this is. Oh, by the way, it also said the word Holocaust means burning in inferno. That's the actual meaning, and what that meant was the bombing from the U.S. when it hit near these Jewish places, and then millions and hundreds of thousands of people, of Jewish people, died, burnt to life because of these bombs that were dropped deliberately by the U.S. because the Illuminati was behind it. And also Britain also bombed certain areas deliberately because they were not military targets. They were not military targets at all. And they bombed and they killed all these Jews. And all these Jews died in this burning inferno. That's what the Holocaust really is, according to this particular source. So it doesn't mean the concentration camp. It actually means burning in inferno from those bombings, from the Allied bombings. I'm sorry, but I don't know. It does sound compelling enough. It does sound convincing enough. But at the same time, I mean, this is getting to me. I honestly don't know. So again, if you know anything about this, please drop a comment. I would love to hear what you say, or anything that might help me out on this one. So again, hope you enjoyed this video. Thumbs up if you like it. And to all of you, take care.